When I travel these days, one of the first things I do is to set up an eSIM on my phone. It's become a lifesaver. I can step off the plane, switch on data, and I'm connected instantly. No hunting around for Wi Fi, no standing in line at an airport kiosk, and no shocking roaming bill when I get home. It's funny to think how far we've come. Back in 2005, when I was traveling in Kenya, I carried this little Nokia 1110 with me with a Safaricom SIM card installed. That little phone could make local calls and send text messages, and that was about it. The screen was tiny and there was no camera, and it certainly didn't know where I was on a map, but it was durable and the battery lasted for days. At that time, it felt like a marvel. Now, compared to today's smartphones, it looks downright primitive. And just as our phones have evolved into pocket sized computers, the way we connect them when we travel has changed too. And that's where the eSIM comes in. So, what exactly is an eSIM? Think of the old SIM card, that little piece of plastic that you used to slot into your phone. An eSIM is the same idea, but built right into your device. The E stands for embedded. Instead of swapping cards, you download a plan electronically, and it's a virtual SIM that lives in your phone, ready to be activated when you need it. Most modern smartphones, iPhone, Samsung, Google, and others, support eSIMs now. You just need to make sure that your phone is unlocked, meaning that it isn't tied to one carrier. When traveling, the big advantage is cost. International roaming charges can add up fast. With an eSIM, I can buy a local or a regional data plan before I even leave home, often for a fraction of what my Canadian carrier would charge. It's also convenient. No more fiddling with little plastic cards or worrying about losing them. And it's reliable. As soon as I land, I can connect to a local network. No waiting, no confusion. And in fact, once I've got my eSIM working, I turn off my home cellular plan. I don't want to find surprise roaming charges cropping up when I get home. Now, there are a few different ways that you can buy eSIMs. Travel eSIM providers like Airalo and Holafly let you buy a plan before you leave home. You download a code or scan a QR code, and the eSIM installs right into your phone. When you land, it's ready to go. Their plans vary. You can choose a fixed amount of data or an unlimited data option. Personally, I often go for the unlimited data because I like to upload photos and videos to the cloud while I travel. But if you're just checking email, browsing the web, or using maps, a smaller plan is usually plenty. Local carriers sometimes sell eSIMs too. When I was in Kenya, I used a Safaricom eSIM. It only worked within Kenya, but it was perfect for local coverage and much cheaper. Plan duration is flexible. You can buy a plan for just a few days or for up to a month. And if you run out of data, topping up is usually easy through the provider's app. One important tip, remember to turn off your home carrier's roaming when you travel. I once forgot, and within a short time, I'd racked up $75 in roaming charges without even realizing it. Now I always check my home SIM is disabled or turned right off. Now, how much data do you really need? Well, this depends on how you use your phone. For light users, just maps, email, and a bit of browsing on the internet, a few gigabytes is plenty for a week. Moderate users, video calls, some streaming, you might need 8 to 10 gigabytes. For heavier users like me, lots of video and photo uploads, an unlimited plan is best. Here's a data saving tip. If you do take a lot of photos and videos and you want to upload them to the cloud or share them while you travel, a limited eSIM plan with just a couple of gigabytes can run out pretty quickly. One way around this is to make use of your hotel or Airbnb Wi-Fi. Simply turn off your eSIM on your phone settings, connect to the Wi-Fi, and upload your files there. When you're finished, turn the eSIM back on and you'll be connected again when you head out. It's a simple way to save data if your eSIM plan doesn't include unlimited data use. You can also save on data usage by downloading local maps for Google Maps or Apple Maps for the area where you'll be visiting. This allows you to get directions within that map area without the need for an internet connection. Now remember that most eSIM travel plans only give you data. That means internet access, but not the traditional phone number for making regular voice calls. To make calls, I use apps like WhatsApp or FaceTime or Messenger. These don't use your home phone line at all. They work through the internet, either through Wi Fi or your eSIM data. So, as long as you're connected that way, you can talk or video chat with family and friends at home, just like making a normal call. Setting up an eSIM is usually really straightforward, but there are a few things to keep in mind. When you buy from a provider like Airalo or Holafly, they'll give you step by step instructions. With Holafly, you usually install the eSIM profile on your phone before you leave home, but you don't activate it until you arrive at your destination. That way, you don't start the clock on your plan too early. With Airalo, you can also install the eSIM before you travel, and in most cases, it will automatically activate once you land and your phone connects to the local network. If you're buying a local eSIM at your destination, you go to the cellular network dealer there and they'll set it up for you on your phone. This option is sometimes cheaper, but it's a little more cumbersome as you need to find an outlet that will set up the eSIM for you. You also need to provide your passport information in order to set it up locally. You don't need that with Airalo or Holofly. As an example of how these local eSIMs work, I've made a video about getting a Safaricom eSIM in Kenya, and I'll put the link at the end of this one. It's important to understand that eSIMs don't connect direct to some magical global internet. They work by linking you to one of the local cellular networks in the country that you're visiting, the same networks that people there use every day. And just like at home, coverage can sometimes vary. Occasionally, one provider has better service in the city while another is stronger in rural areas. For example, when I was in Kenya, different providers had better coverage in different parts of the country. So I checked ahead of time to make sure that the eSIM plan that I bought used a network that covered the areas where I was traveling through. And I suppose that's a useful habit to get into no matter where you're headed. On one trip, my carrier back home wanted over $100 for a week of roaming. With an eSIM, I paid about $20 for the same time period. That's a big difference. Money I'd rather spend on a good meal, an excursion, or maybe a museum ticket. So for me, an eSIM is the easiest and most economical way to stay connected while I'm traveling. No roaming surprises, no fuss with plastic cards. You just switch it on and go. If you've never tried one, I encourage you to check whether your phone supports eSIM and give it a try on your next trip. It's simpler than you might think, and it really does make travel less stressful. Thanks for watching. And let me know in the comments, have you tried an eSIM yet? How did it work for you? If you found this helpful, please like the video and subscribe for more tips about senior solo travel. Safe travels. See you next time.